So the other part I forgot about, I started rambling after I started the sentence right before I talked about subscribing and stuff. Before I was going to end the video, I was talking about memory loss. That is one of the things that this cancer, I don't know if it's this cancer or all cancers or whatever, or just how bad mine was. You get memory loss, or at least I did. The nurses say it's a somewhat common problem, and what it is because you don't have enough blood cells to go to all of your vital organs to keep them going 100%. So they go to the ones that keep you alive. So they went more for my heart, especially since I had an infection and was in the hospital. They went to my heart and other organs. So they go to your brain too, but it's not 100%. So it functions, but you don't remember some stuff. So it's nothing like, for me at least, it's nothing like, when I'm driving, I forget what a red light means. I don't have that problem. And that's one of the things that they told me to look out for, like if I had that problem, to let them know. But mine is more like if I watched a movie like a year ago or more, or like longer ago, if it's one I don't really care for, like for instance, like one that maybe my girlfriend was like, "Hey, let's watch this," and I barely remember watching it, or I don't at all, until she starts describing it or who was in it. I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that, but I don't remember very well. So that's what I was getting at. But I also have trouble. It's usually stuff that was longer ago, but I also have trouble sometimes with, like, when I was in the hospital. It was in May. It was May 14th to May 25th. And the part that I keep forgetting is if it was May or March. I keep on switching those. And the thing is I have already like not adapted it, but I've already kind of like not pinpointed. I can't remember. I can't think of the word. That's another thing. Another part of it too. You can't, like, I'm usually very good, like, vocabulary wise and spelling and all that stuff. My girlfriend's always asking me how to spell stuff, and I'm like, 99% of the time I'm right. But anyway, so I've already kind of like, I'll just say, like, I went to the hospital in May, and I kind of, oh, there we go. I related it to other things that happened in May. So one of my childhood friends, it was also my cousin. We were friends before we knew we were cousins. His birthday is May 25th, so I remember May. It's also the day I got out of the hospital, so it's somewhat easy to remember. And then our basset hound that we had when I was growing up, she was born May 31st. And we got her when she was like 3 months old, but I just know that she was born May 31st because we actually met the people that had their parents and stuff. We got them off of like some farm, and we had to put her down May 3rd. She would have been 15, so, but she was having trouble like walking, and she was peeing and pooping in her sleep and stuff. So, it was unfortunately that time. But either way, but we had her from the time I was 3 until a month before, or actually, yeah, about a month before I graduated high school. So it was a long time for a basset hound. So anyway, I try to associate it. There's the other word, associate it. I try to associate it with the stuff that I had, big memories I had growing up in when I was younger. So I remember May because I had those three big things. But the other thing is March. I had a few things in March that, like, my girlfriend's birthday is in March, and so I keep on like kind of associating it with my hospital stay with March instead of May. So that's part of the memory loss thing. I have to like think about it and then like kind of count back how many months it's been and be like, oh yeah, it was May, not March. So, but that's part of the the problem. But so I'm not having problems with, like, like I said about the, like, while I'm driving, forgetting what a red light means or a green light means. Which if that happens, like my nurse said, if that happens, like, call them to let them know, because that's kind of like a big thing. That's not supposed to happen. So, and also on top of that, the part about it being, that's a big thing, that if you're forgetting that much, then they're going to be worried about what else you're forgetting. So, I have to let them know. But so far, it's just been minor stuff, like stuff that I don't really care about too much. Like I said, like movies from like I've watched like a year ago or longer, that weren't ones that I'd normally watch. So like I have tons of movies. So I still have a bunch that I've had for years that I have never watched. So there's that. But if I've watched a movie once and I didn't really care for it, I don't really remember a whole lot of it. I have more of like selective memory, so like I'm crazy about cars. Like I love cars, and you know, my Challenger's right next to me and stuff. And uh, unfortunately, I don't have the Trailblazer back. I should get that back here in a couple days. But um, when I read like a Motor Trend magazine or something like that, or like when I read the specs about like, you know, like how much horsepower and torque and engine size and all that stuff, I remember that stuff like after reading it like one time, maybe two. Um, just because of how crazy I am about cars, it just clicks. It's just boom, boom, boom. It just goes in my head and it stays for the most part. Um, and then, but when I'm reading something, or let's, I don't know, if I'm reading something about like what the diet of a pig is. I know pigs eat a lot, but like maybe things that a pig can't eat or something like that. I don't care. I don't have any pigs. I don't care what they cannot eat. You know, so I'm not going to remember that. I might remember one or two things, but I'm not going to remember, like, you know, say if there's 10 or 15 that they cannot eat. Which I know there's more, but I'm just saying, for example, I might remember two or three just because they were popular things. But, you know, stuff like that. But because I won't care, so I won't remember most of it. So, but yeah, so stuff sticks in my head if it's something I want to learn, it stays in my head for the most part. So, and I haven't forgotten, as far as I know, I haven't forgotten any of that stuff. So, but yeah, so I'm going to be making a few other videos pretty soon. I know I've mentioned that. There's some stuff I want to do to the ridgeline that I'm going to try to test it out and maybe make a video of doing all the things I want to do, because it involves plasti dip, which I haven't really done, but I still have some. Don't know if it's good or if it'll still spray, because I've had it for a few years now. So I have to see if it's still sprayable, or if there's no air in it anymore. Because that usually happens to me where I go to use something after a few years and there's no air in it, so I can't use it. But either way, I'm going to try doing some things with the ridgeline, especially this one. I have a few things I want to do. Not much, honestly. This is pretty much how I want it, except for the wheels. Because it's a silver car, of course, and I have the black stripes, and they're dirty right now, so they're a what's the word? It's not flat black or gloss black. It's in between. It's not matte black. What's it called? Either way, it's like a semi-gloss, but I can't remember the name for it now. But either way, so I want to do the wheels black because I've had them silver for so long, or not silver, but you know, I guess it is silver. But either way, they're a little bit more dingy than the rest of the car, and I want to do black. But and I just got new tires put on this last year, so it's like perfect time to do it, because I was waiting to get new tires to do it so nothing would get all banged up. But yeah, so I'm gonna do black on that, but I'm not sure if I want to do gloss or if I want to try to match it with the stripes. I'm thinking I want to match it with the stripes, because I also did that with the gas door on the back. It's like the semi-gloss. I can't remember the name of the word for it. It's like, it's not matte or flat. It's like the in-between. Satin. There we go. It's satin black. Like I said, I forget stuff. And I was having trouble with that one a few days ago too. So yeah, it's satin black for the stripes. And I was thinking about doing the same thing on the wheels. But if they start getting like dirty, they're going to get dirty quicker than that. So these are going to look flat before any of this does. So that's the one thing I kind of want gloss on the wheels, so when it does get dirty, it'll match the satin. But then when you wash it, it's going to not match. So that's the one thing. And these are also satin. Actually, I think they were satin when I got them. I think the paint's wearing off a little bit, so they might be like a flat black now. I might have to do them too. Maybe even the Hemi emblems. I don't know. I don't want to do too much black though. I like having a little bit of stuff to stand out. So like, for instance, the grill. Sorry, I'm wearing Crocs, so that's why it's... So like the grill, I want to keep the silver in that, and also the Challenger and the RT. I do want to make the RT, actually that's a decent color. I'm okay with it being a little bit on the darker side. And then also I put an RT on the back a while ago. And I know I made this video longer than I wanted to. So back here I put it's a black RT emblem with red outlines. And the red has faded, so I want to redo that. And also, that's one of the things I want to get at with the ridge line is I kind of want the ridge line to have that look. Like, not with that dark of a red. I mean, I am in the darker area, but this has faded. So I want it to be like a darker red, but not as dark as that, like not as faded as that. And then I want to get rid of this. This just says The Punisher on it. And I want to get rid of that and put, I don't even know what I want to put on there right now. So at the moment, I don't have anything I want to put on there, but I might end up putting one of these stalls on there. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. So for the moment, I'm going to leave that on. I also got these, which are wheel caps. They're just the Dodge symbol. So I'm debating about them too after I paint them black. And so I guess I'd have to match whatever this is. So if these are satin black in there, then that's what I'll match. I guess that would make sense, huh? So, and then I got those, and I got another Hemi emblem, which is red and black. That's where I was gonna throw. That's what it was. I was gonna put this there, so it matches the red and black over there. So see how bright that is? The red is on there. That's how bright I want that RT over there to be. That's what it used to be before it got faded. So I'm going to do that with this one. I'm going to clear coat over top of that first though, so it doesn't fade as much or as quick. And then I'm going to try to do the same thing with the other one. So that's what's going on the back. But this was inspiration for part of what I want to do with the ridge line was on the ridge line, I want the letters on the back to be like this. I was debating about this or straight up red or straight up orange, or even black with a red outline or black with the orange outline. So that's giving me the inspiration for this. But I would be using Plastidip, and I haven't used Plastidip that much, and that's going to be a lot of taping off, like having to tape it off to do the black first and then do the red or the orange. But so that's why I'm debating about just doing orange or red. So I'm kind of trying to figure it out still. I did a few pictures where I just edited it on my phone, like the picture app, just edited it on there and made them orange or made them red just to see what they would look like, kinda. So I have an idea, and I still haven't decided yet. So, but if I'm gonna do it, I got to do it pretty soon. I'm supposed to go back to work in the next month or so, depending on if my bone marrow biopsy goes well. So, but anyway, again, if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'd appreciate a like and subscribe if you would like, and thanks for watching.